Press the things. There's no catch up, Pierre. There's no catch up. Is this thing on? Are we live? We're live. Have I got side of the face? Right, we've got a lot of hi. Hello, I'm Winters SEO. Welcome to the Talkie Tuesday live stream. I'm good. A little bit of a nap earlier, you see, after dinner. And sometimes you wake up with a pillow impression on your face. But today I woke up with the cat in the crook of my arm, trying to find his balls again. We took them away 17 years ago, and he was trying to find them, but he's going to be digging for a long time with his tongue and everything. I mean, it's quite amazing that he can get down there these days, being so old. Anyway, welcome to the Talkie Tuesday live stream. We've got a lot to catch up with today. There's a lot of things to talk about. Some of them might actually be hobby related as well. Okay, some of them. But there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know where we begin. I think we begin by jumping in with a chat, seeing what's in the chat. Hi, Heresy, Squat, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor, Hugo, Greg Shiminin, Silo. We can talk about Heresy as well. Silo, Pickle Nick, Woodsy, and Stuart Fields, all the way from the land down under. Hi, everyone. Chat, how are we doing this evening? Are we alive? Are we awake? Have we got a lovely cup of tea in our hands, ready to knock back that cup of tea? Milk, 2 sugars, obviously, Builder's Brew, NATO standard, no other tea is allowed. I hope you got a nice cup of tea, maybe some custard creams. You can go all out if you want. Instead of custard creams, get yourself some hobnobs. Other biscuits may apply. Hi, Hazza. Where are we? Ever thinking of getting the Silent King for your Necrons? Well, I am now. Thinking about getting him. I understand he's a bit of a beast. But we're working on the Emperor's Children right now. You're just boiling the kettle, Pickle Nick. Nice. Remember, milk, 2 sugars, milk first. Getting Sevatar on the table for the first time later tonight. Nice. Sevatar, Prince of Crows. Get in there. Early afternoon here. Barley tea, okay. No, Greg Shiminin. Barley tea is not tea. There are teas and not teas. In the tea category, we've gone through this before, chat. We've gone through this before. There are teas and then there's heresy. There are teas and then we're calling the Inquisition. There are teas which involve Yorkshire brew, milk, 2 sugars, maybe a Tetley. Something like that. PG tips, if you like your PG tips. And then there are exterminatus. There is no grey in the. This is not a spectrum. This is binary between loving the God Emperor of mankind and the Inquisition knocking on your door. Barley tea is, I'm afraid, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor. If you can call your local RBTs to go round there, get to Greg Shimmin and shoot him in the head. Really, I think let's just put him out of his misery. It's probably the best thing for him. I think it's the best thing for everyone. It's probably better for the planet that way. Because you'll be reducing the carbon content that Greg Shimmin is going to consume for the, he's gone. Iced tea is the Emperor. Iced tea is not the Emperor. Definitely not a gator again coming in from America. You see, the people in the colonies don't understand. The people, they don't understand about the tea thing. Black tea for the win. Stranger come knocking hobbies. Jim, you should know better because you are a UK person. You're British. Tea has milk. Tea has sugar in it. Interrogator has been contacted. Thank you. The friendly neighborhood inquisitor. Good. You're not in the colonies. Definitely not a gator. I thought you were like in the bayou. I thought you were down that end of the woods. Yorkshire tea. Stuart Fields knows what he's talking about, and he's in the land down under. Yorkshire tea all the way, but damn, it's expensive over here. I think everything is expensive in the land down under, except getting bitten by something poisonous. Colonies understand blue cheese. Go Bills. Josh Allen protects. Yes, we do like Josh Allen. Like the Bills. Twinings, Earl Grey, skimmed sugar, only way to be sure. Hugo. I like you, Hugo. Okay. You're British as well. You know the rules. Skimmed sugar. Earl Grey. I'm not sure Earl Grey counts. It might used to... You live in a hot, dry place. The nice tea makes all the... Well, we don't live in a hot, dry place, do we? We live... Look, we live in... This is summertime in the UK. Apparently, well, this is springtime in the UK. It's already black out there. It's as black as staring into the void. As black as staring into the void. Strange canonical horror. You like Rington's tea? Kacha. I don't know what Rington's tea is. Rington's tea? What is Rington's tea? What is Rington's tea when he's at home? Stuart said, reminding me that he's not in a land down under where there's lots of poison things in the Balrog. He's actually in Middle Earth, which is the place across from... It's the same, isn't it? I mean, Australia, New Zealand, they're the same. They sound the same. They look the same. They're on the other side of the planet. The internet is not entirely certain whether these things exist. I mean, it's basically the same country, isn't it? New Zealand and Australia. I was born of ice. I live in ice. I will return to ice. Hot tea is good. Well done, Blood Buffalo. Well done. I'm in the colonies, friendly neighbourhood inquisitor. I just don't drink tea unless... See, it's okay not to drink tea. You can drink your coffee. You can drink your gin and tonic. You can push the boat out every now and then and have a nice, cider. Pims and lemonade on a hot summer day. There are other drinks available, but if there's tea, there's a type of tea. And then there is heresy. Hello, Eternal Crusader, who says, Winters! And yeah, I see you. Coming in that grows tea and vacuum... What? Servo Skull, hello. Didn't see you drop into the chat. Thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you, Servo Skull. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. Dangerous word. I turned the volume down when it... Stuart, yes. Where are we? Evening, Servo Skull. Thank you. Jumping in with a gifted membership. Right up the... Salad in a glass. Heresy. Salad in a pasty. Salad in a pasty. Quick note. Cider is not alcoholic in the States. I live in the West Country. I was once on an archaeological dig. I know. We're talking... There's another lifetime now. When I was a teenager. And we were staying in the middle of Somerset in a place called Chapwick, which is not too far away from Glastonbury. But it was very ooh-ah. Everyone's married to their cousin. A lot of the Americans living in Alabama, they'll know what I'm talking about. It's a bit like... Anyway, it's a dodgy part of the world. And there was a bar that we'd go to in the evening, a pub in a village. There was 4 houses and this pub. And in the pub, there was a big barrel on the side of the bar. And it was like Wilkinson's Farmhouse Cider. Pint of that stuff, 50p it was. We were students. We were yamming that down. You'd get your pint of farmhouse cider. It was greenish. There were bits floating in it. And 2 pints you could barely walk. 3 pints you went blind. And the next day your pee smelt like apples. It was glorious stuff. That was proper cider from this barrel. It was dirt good. Dirt good for a cheap student. New Chaos Knight teased, apparently. Always happy to see that. We're looking forward to seeing some Chaos Knight goodness. Because let's face it, they've only got 2 types. They've got a few types, haven't they? They've got the one with the tail. They've got the one without the tail. Mind you, the one with the tail. Does the one with the abominant, does it still come in the box on its own? Or is it all mixed together with the other ones? And they've got their war dogs. Stop drinking when your teeth dissolve. Green pea. Yes, it was fairly green pea. Yeah. Not Bevig. What you've walked into this evening. Right, chat. Let's lock in. Chat. We've got a lot to talk about. Don't go away, not Benvig. This is important stuff. We've got a lot to catch up on this evening. Some of it is actually hobby related. Someone's already been talking about the reveals. There's some Adepticon. Something's coming this weekend that people are chatting about that are very excited about stuff. It'd be useful being a proper news review, 40k, heresy, Games Workshop, Warhammer type channel, and then I'd know A, what is really happening this weekend. I think it's Adepticon, and B, I'd actually know the kind of stuff. I don't know anything. I just work here. I forgot some stuff at the top, by the way. Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor, thank you for your 28 months. That's a very long time. 1,000 Suns greater than Emperor's Children, he says. 1,000 Suns greater than Emperor's Children. I mean, some people like the bourbons, some people like the custard creams. I say both of them work well in tea. Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor also gifted a membership. Thank you very much for your gifted membership. We've got 2 gifted memberships already, and we haven't even got onto the topics. Let's lock in. So we've got a lot to catch up with today. I've got there's a lot of heating. I'm taking off the shirt, okay? On the live stream as well. It's getting warm in here with all the lights and the heating coming up. I was thinking I should actually rock the merch a bit more. I should be wearing my merch. That's what professional YouTubers do. The merch. Someone actually bought 2 hoodies this week. So this week we sold some merch. Didn't sell any last week. We sold some merch. If you want to get some merch, get some merch. If you want to support the channel, get a mug. Join the mug club. There's 61 mugs out there in the wild. Well, actually there's 60 because I've got one of them. If you want to really support the channel, become a channel member. And if you become a tier 3 channel member, it unlocks extra content every single Winter's Wednesday. So we'll put this, it's getting warm, we'll put this on here. Right, we'll put that there. Yes, I've got my gym jams on, okay. It's got my jimmies on already. We'll do that, we'll strap in, because we've got a lot to talk about. Merch flat cap. I did merch flat caps way back before DZTV and everything. Way back. I got a chunk of merch flat caps in and we sold a bunch of them. And there was a thing on this. And I got like 20 of them made. I sold 10 of them. I'm not doing that again. I was sitting on 10 flat caps for like 3 years. And then in the end, when she was clearing out all the stuff and things, she was like, what are we doing with these merch flat caps? I'm like, I just bin them. No one wants them. No one wants a merch flat cap. It was an idea. We tried to get yourself a t-shirt. Look at me wearing the not merch. Imagine if I was wearing some of the merch right now. Get that kind of merch. It's a great way to support the channel. Or, you know, Patreon is a thing as well. Where are we? What's after tier 11? There's 4 tiers. There is no tier 11. But we don't talk about the 4th tier because that's only for astronauts and judges and tech pros and things. Now that's the definitive granddad look. What is the definitive? What are we talking about? But your channel has grown significant since before DZTV. Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor, you're talking sense. Tier 12 gets you the shirt Winters is wearing right now. This shirt. Tier 12 does get you a t-shirt from Next. Evening Winters, I am well, Jackus Woods. Thank you from France. We've got France, we've got Australia in this evening. All we need is Tazanara all the way from Japan and we're good. So we're locked in. We're locked in for the Talkie Tuesday live stream. I hope you're doing well, chat. I hope you're well. I hope we're locked in. I hope you've got your tea. I've got some water here. Ready for hydration. New Zealand represents, says Damn Legion. That's Australia, isn't it? I've got some water. It'll look a bit pinkish to you because obviously I put my electrolytes tab in there. Heading out. Okay, Archello, bye. Need to take my son to the shop. Enjoy the street. Okay, bye. Thanks. Can't even keep people in place. If this is the content, quite frankly, the content is terrible. We haven't even got onto it. But yes, right. Lock in. I'm getting distracted. We've got the water for hydration. Electrolyte tabs. We talked about that on a previous live stream. Make sure you keep your electrolytes up. However, I'd like to say, what? 2 Frenchies in here. That's an invasion right there. Nice. Dear. Where are we? I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, water. I was saying we've got the water with the electrolytes, nice and healthy. And then she went to the shops yesterday, and we talked about mini eggs before. We talked about mini eggs being my kryptonite. I've been going to last year I went to the gym about 3 times. This year I'm going to the gym about 3 times a week. I went this morning, and she found my kryptonite, but a giant bag of my kryptonite. Look at that. It's got 8 of these in it. I have to eat all that now and try to do it in more than one sitting. I've had 2 bags already. Yesterday I was really busy, but today I've had 2 bags already. This isn't going to last till Wednesday. If you don't know what these are, by the way, if you're in one of those dark, dingy corners of the world, like Vrax or Catachan or some death world like that, Fenris, and you don't know what these are, then I truly, genuinely feel quite sorry for you, because these are, they come all the way from Cormora. These will make you do things that you never thought you would ever do. Damn, I love them. I'm so pleased they're seasonal as well, because if they were in the shops all the time, then I would be a wreck. We could start on that subject, by the way. Easter eggs. What are your favourite Easter goodie things, like cakes and treats? Because I know some people in different parts of the world do different things for Easter and Easter celebration. I've got no idea what rabbits have got to do with Easter, but I'm interested in finding out, because I'm very food orientated, as you know. I'm interested in finding out what are the best Easter treats in your neck of the woods, and Easter celebrations and things like that. I mean, what do you guys do? It's coming soon, apparently. And if you can avoid these, it's good. That means there's more of these for me. What are we doing? Chocolate dipped almonds. Chocolate dipped almonds. Packets within packets aren't good. Just one huge bag would do. I know. And I was so pleased when I found out there's packets in packets. Because if this was a giant bag, then like Garfield when he eats all the thing and he can't walk anymore because his belly, it would be like that. Chocolate peanut butter eggs are a winner. I like good old Cadbury's eggs that's been in the fridge all day. Yeah, when they're nice hot, and the crack when it comes away, when it's been. It was mixing of pagan holidays. See if there's a word. What? Mixing of pagan holidays. Yes. I tell you what, if I'd demolish a cream egg any day, I would. Daily Dice in the chat. Check out Daily Dice YouTube channel. I would demolish a cream egg. I would do filthy things for a cream egg. Here's another true story for you. Again, back to my teenage years. I liked cream eggs so much. I had such a problem with cream eggs that I bought a box of them, and there was like 40 of them in a box. And I did it for 2 reasons. 1, knowing I'd eat all the cream eggs as quickly as I could. And 2, knowing that if I ate all the cream eggs as quickly as I could, then it might put me off cream eggs. And you know what? Part 1 worked. I ate all those cream eggs as quickly as I could. They were gone by a week, and there was like 40 of them. I was having 3, 4 a day. And 2, it partially put me off cream eggs. Basically, I wouldn't try that again. Don't try that at home. And I still like a cream egg, but not as much as I did. So it was good aversion therapy. Honeycomb eggs. Hi Peeps, hi Wrath of Constantine. Got more from the colonies in here. Cream egg ice creams are life-changing. Cream egg ice creams. Now you're talking my language, Stuart Film. It's cream egg ice creams. Ice cream, one of my favourite things in the world. Cream eggs, another one of my... mixing the two to Kinder eggs. Kinder eggs are good. Banned in America. Hand grenades, not banned. Kinder eggs, banned. Mini eggs over cream eggs. Mini eggs with cream eggs. And more mini eggs on top. Terry's chocolate orange cream egg. Andrew Williams, we've discussed the heresy, which is any kind of fruit concoction mixing with chocolates. A friendly neighbourhood inquisitor, if you're still in the chat, interrogator sent round to Andrew Williams' house, please. He, quite frankly, send him to Brig. Send him to the Brig. Because the Terry's chocolate orange, heresy. It's got fruit or a fruit eating. No fruit and nut. No fruit should ever cross the streams with chocolate. Heresy. Heresy. My favourite Easter thingy is to roast is the roast veal at Grandma's. No chocolate involved, lots of garlic. Grandma's cooking. Probably the greatest thing in the world ever. Don't have any grandmas left, by the way. Most of my family, very careless. Most of them all dead. Most. There's a few hanging in there. Like most of, but yeah. We have Kinder Eggs. Friendly neighborhood and kiss. What? Where are you? Dropped Dice Gaming. I had a white chocolate cream egg the other day. Not an improvement. No. White chocolate is not an improvement. Whenever you got chocolate and you remove the chocolate content, it's not an improvement, is it? Chocolate covered strawberries. There's the fruit and the chocolate combination there again. I mean, I like strawberries. Who doesn't like strawberries? Chocolate, we like chocolate. But putting chocolate and strawberries together, this is heresy. Just, I don't. What am I working with this evening? There's like 3 or 4 heretics in the chat already. We haven't even got on to all the things we need to catch up on. How many interrogators do you think I have? Friendly neighborhood inquisitor. You're an inquisitor. Call up the power of the rosette. The power of the rosette. May the power of the rosette compel you. Mini eggs. Other eggs apply. Wife makes blueberry raspberry cobbler. Everything from scratch. You see fruit on its own in a cobbler? Fine. Just do not mix with chocolate. Man, I had a revelation this Christmas. You'll need to try Beretti and Milano tiramisu chocolates. It's heaven in a cube. I'm writing that one down. Where's my pad? I believe you. I'm trying it. Pierre must be French or Belgium, and they know food. I'm writing this down. Baretti, I hope you spelled it right. Google will probably find it. Baretti, and also I'm a big fan of tiramisu, and so is she. Milano tiramisu. Right, I've written it down. We'll be Googling that later. We'll be ordering stuff like that. Hopefully Amazon delivers. Emperor approved. Do the band the lovely eggs count as the best eggs? No. Fruit and nut chocolate bars for the win. Not Benvig. Fruit and chocolate. These are not things that belong together. Okay? Fruit and nut chocolate bars are not for the win. They do not belong together. You might as well put a penguin in a cage with a tiger, and give it 3 rounds, 5 minutes, UFC, go fight. It's not going to last very long. That penguin's going to be all over that tiger. That'll be a dead tiger. You can't put these two things together. You might as well put a lamp on your head and call it fashion, although so someone might have that. Does not belong together. It's a bit like Common Sense and Eldar players do not belong together, or Good Rules Writing and Games Workshop. These things do not belong together. Fruit and not chocolate is not a thing. Calm down. Jackus Woods, 24 months. That's a long time, thank you. Happy anniversary, Winters. What about booze and chocolate? I'm partial to... Yes. Cognac. Okay, alcohol? Fine. With chocolate. That can be allowed. Mango and coconut white chocolate by Whittaker's. It's like that. Like, mango is a fruit. Coconut is a fruit. White chocolate barely counts as chocolate. Damned Legion, you are damned, sir. On a platter, there's served strawberries and pieces of chocolate. How much time has to go between a bite of each to please the Winters? Does one have to gargle mouthwash between... That's an interesting question. If you put the strawberries on a platter and chocolate on a platter, you can eat the strawberries, you can eat the chocolate. This we will allow. Do you have to gargle mouthwash between each mouthful? How long lasts between each mouthful? I'm open to suggestions. This is the first time someone's posed such an existential question to me. How long between each mouthful from strawberry to how many? How long would you have to wait? I would say you could eat as many strawberries as you want or as much chocolate as you want, so long as you have like a good one or two good mouthfuls of tea between your chocolate to strawberry ratio, then you could switch to the next flavor and consume the next part of the dish, but not together. never together at the same time. Chocolate cake has strawberries on top. I know, but what you do is you take the strawberries off and you throw them away and then you just eat the chocolate cake. I nearly slapped my mate the other day when he asked me to get him a white lion bar. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, stranger come knocking hobbies, that's a divorce right there. If a friend of mine asked me to get a white lion bar, I'll be calling the solicitors. Chocolate raisins are great. They are not great. They're heresy. Absolute heresy. Maybe a sip of water between each. More than one sip of water. We've agreed it's going to be at least 2 sips. 2 sips. Chocolate cake is not chocolate. That's quite an existential. That is quite a deconstruct. We live in the post-truth era. Chocolate cake is not chocolate. That's like saying nothing is real. We're plugged into the matrix. That's like saying, see that rabbit over there? It's really a kangaroo. That's like saying something outrageous like whales are mammals. Crazy. Lim T has been a member for 25 months. Thank you for your service. Appreciate you. You've convinced me when I'm off to the shop to buy dairy, milk and grapes. So long as you eat them separately and have a couple of cups of tea between the couple of sips of tea between the dairy, milk and the grapes. That's good. Grapes are good, by the way. Grapes are good. Water isn't wet. We're doing well today. This isn't a cake-shaped chocolate. Isn't it a cake-shaped chocolate or a chocolate-flavoured cake? I don't really know what's going on right now either, Pierre or Jackus Woods. Someone needs to grab a hold of the chat right now. What about Cadbury's caramel chocolate? Yeah, that's okay. Caramel and chocolate, that's fine. Caramel chocolate, it's nice. That's allowed. It's chocolate-flavoured cake, not chocolate. Chocolate cake is chocolate-flavoured cake, not chocolate. I'm just happy the garlic mushrooms aren't cool anymore. Garlic mushrooms are good, though. Garlic bread? Garlic bread? That's a very UK reference for the non-UK audience out there. Water isn't water. It's just some hydrogen and oxygen slapped together. What about Black Forest Gatto? That's fine so long as while you're eating the Black Forest Gatto, all the bits of the strawberry in there you sort of flick out and try and stick to different parts of the room. See if you can make interesting shapes on the window with the Black Forest part of the Gatto. 28 minutes in. We're 28 minutes in and we've got a lot to catch up with. Thank you, Blood Buffalo. Dragging us back into the real world. We've got a lot to catch up. I've got a list of stuff. Look. On the list that I wanted to talk about. We haven't even begun. It's the Les Choc. Jackus Woods, thank you for 10 memberships. Thank you, Jackus Woods. Thank you all the way from France. Jackus Woods, thank you. Can we give Jackus Woods a big GG in the chats, please? GG's in the chats all round for Jackus Woods. Absolute legend. Thank you. Ooh, that put my pulse up a bit there. I need to take a sip of water with electrolytes. I need to rehydrate. Everyone grab a cup of tea. Everyone type GG. Take a sip of the tea, or coffee, or gin or tonic, or Pims and lemonade, whatever you're drinking right now. What are you drinking right now, by the way, chat? What are we drinking right now? Those mini eggs are just staring at me. Would it be rude to open a packet of mini eggs and eat them on stream? Would you tell me off if I came down with 2 less? It's probably a bit rude just to sit here. It probably wouldn't be great content. Me sitting here just on mini eggs. That's not good content, is it? Quite frankly, what I'm doing right now isn't great content, and I'm shocked that you're all here. But thanks for joining, and thanks for all the GGs and all the things. What are we drinking? Black tea cause no milk or lemon. Drinking sadness until work ends. Bloody electrolytes. Electrolytes with your water. I'm telling you, it's the future. It's what athletes do. So I think if you drink electrolytes with water, you lose weight. I think there's science in that. What else we got? You've got water, some fresh water. Chocolate is fruit. What? Getting paid to watch though. You're getting paid to watch this shit? Well done. That's the dream, isn't it? To be at work, getting paid to watch this. So basically, that's why you watched it, because if you're at home, no way you'd watch this. Those mini eggs have a short shelf life. Yeah, but they're great. They're great. Drinking paint water is drop dice gaming. Be careful of drinking paint water. Just drink the paint. Don't drink the paint. That's a joke. Someone out there. But, you know, I do like the taste of a good Dawnstone Grey every now and then. The Corn Red. What was that one? This one, Corn Red. I don't know what they put in it, but that one tastes terrible. Don't drink paint. Working at home on the clock, living my best life. Nice. Eat mini eggs on stream like no, I can't. It's not a good idea to eat mini eggs. And Jackus Wood's not helping the French stereotype by drinking red wine. I wish I had some red wine, to be honest, instead of just water with electrolytes in it. But here we are. Shades are terrible, though. I don't know what you're talking about. Blood for the blood god, says M. Wilson. Talasar Blue is my jam. Nice. Oh dear. Right, chat. Yes, we are. Thank you for joining me on this Talky Tuesday. We've got a lot to catch up on. First, we've got some announcements. I was very excited. I didn't think it would happen, but very excited to welcome Luton09 back to the studio just yesterday. He drove all the way up. We didn't put him off the first time. He rather enjoyed the battle, which we had Necrons versus the 13th Firstborn last time. It's doing really well on the YouTubes. Thank you everyone for watching the Luton versus Winters Battle Report. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's a banger. So thank you all for watching that one. We didn't put him off. He rather enjoyed himself. He came back for round 2 and he picked up the box. I'm rather pleased. No one mentioned the box. So we've got another Luton 09 versus Winter. What's the 09 for? Does he really need the 09? Can't he just drop the 09 now? Can't it just be Luton? I mean, clearly when he picked the name Luton, there were 8 other Lutons ahead of him, but I only know the 9th one. It's a bit like Septimus in the Night Lords trilogy. You know, Septimus being the 7th of Talus's slaves, and you're like, what happened to the other 6? And he says, well, I'll tell you a story about these ones, but don't ask me about number 2. It's a bit like that. We don't ever get to find out really the life stories. We get a bit of backstory, a little nugget here or there. This one was killed by him. I killed this one. He went a bit chaosy. Those 2 died of old age. We get a couple of sentences about the life story of the 6 that became before Septimus, and then Septimus is like, oh, are you going to kill me? And he went, no, you're all right. You polished my armor quite well. But I don't even know what happened to the 8 Lutons before Luton. Maybe they're dead. Maybe they sold their bodies for science. I don't know. But we got to the 9th one, and the 9th one is pretty good. I do like the dude. I'm pleased we didn't piss him off, and he came back round to have another battle report. 3,000 points this time, and we did Necrons versus the 13th Part 2. Because I was asking a few people, like, do you want a separate story, or do you want to on-go with the story that we did with the first one? And you said, let's continue with it. So we continued with it, and it was good fun. Welcome, Killer Kriegsman. Welcome back to the 13th at Tier 1. He goes, he's back again. He goes, he's back again. Thank you for becoming a member. You absolute legend. I appreciate. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Welcome to the Tier 1. And Marquis00. See, Marquis00. There are no other Marquis before Marquis00. There's no Marquis B. He's not a Marquis B. There's none of that. He's just Marquis00. He's been a member for 23 once. What's in the box, Winters? What box? What box? Did my pussy just walk in? I want a Decimus book. He's at Septimus right now. There's no 1 through 8, 9 is just right. Winters for president. I don't know. You don't want to. Loved Luton's videos about law being too tied to the tabletop. Yes, the one he did with the... What do you want? Yes, sorry. We do have a... You can see his ears. Down there, look. Yes, he did one about Imperial Guard, and he did. Yeah, check out Luton 09's videos. I don't need to tell you guys this. I'm sure you watch them all. Wee Woo Catalan. Are you going to stay in your donut? Are you coming or going? What are you doing? I know, it's great artwork, isn't it? These are Black Library novel covers there. That's Flight of the Eisenstein, and that's Angel Exterminatus. That is Galaxy no, that one is Galaxy in Flames. That's Horus Rising, and that's Emperor of Mankind. Yeah, fascinating, aren't they? Are you staying or going? You're staying, because I need to close the door, because she'll hear all me shouting and screaming downstairs, and she'll get rather upset. This is a donut there, look. Stay in the donut. Do the circle around thing. Down. Sit. Sit. Roll over. Okay, good boy. Right, I can close the door. Right, the cat's in. The cat's in. Cats do whatever they want. I know, right? I am basically, he runs the house. I'm basically the servant. Okay, we've got a lot to catch up with. Are we going to stay on topic? Probably not, Prancing Duck. Probably not. We haven't even started the topic yet. Luton came round. We mentioned the Luton. Yes. Right. Okay. Topics. Right, where are we? Yes, right. First up. Got a lot to catch up with. First up, tech people in the house, right? I have a problem with my phone. You need to fix it. I Googled and I don't know how to fix this. I have a Samsung phone, which has got... Right, and look. I'm watching Stoddy. I'm hooked on sniping in Armour Reforger. And normally when I turn my phone that way, it goes that way. But now it won't go that way. So I pull down the thing. You know, you pull down this thing with this on, which has the thing on it, which you click on it. You click on that thing. So when you do it sideways, but the thing to click on the thing is no longer on the thing. I can't find it on the thing. Help, chat. Help. How can I make... I mean, look at that screen. It's tiny. My eyes are very old and this one's knackered. How can I make that work? And also, I decided to talk about this, like Android and Samsung apparently, someone on live stream last week was like, how does the algorithm work? Apparently on live streams, if you say things like Apple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Samsung, iPhone, things like that, the algorithm can hear you and puts more videos, because they're tech videos, like it knows, and puts them on the streams and in video content that you have, and it's like tuned for tech stuff. It loves the tech stuff, and it tuned. So we're trying to say iPhone and Samsung and Galaxy as much as possible. There's a little pen icon just under buttons. You can edit what it shows. Pen icon under what? There's a little pen icon just under buttons, and you can edit what it shows. Pen. Edit. Damn it, where's my glasses? It's dark in here. Painting glasses on. Edit what it shows. Processing speed, emergency. Right, what it shows. Oh, reset. I pressed reset. I pressed a thing. We have power sharing, secure folder, NVFC. I don't know what that. Always on sync. Oh, this is the kind of content you want, isn't it? This is the kind of content. Take screenshot. And this is vital work we're doing right now. Battery protection. It's not on there. The twist screamy thing. So you say it's on the pen icon and it's there. It's not there. It's not there. Or bottom right of the screen, there's a square and press it. Bottom right of the screen. Prancing Duck just fixed my world. Bottom, it's just the square icon. It worked. Look. Boom. It used to be... Prancing Duck, you're an absolute legend. +1 internet point of view, sir. It used to be on that screen. But now it's just on the YouTube thing. Prancing Duck, you are my new favourite commenter, chat person in the chat. That has been blowing my mind for like the last 3 or 4 days since I figured out you can. You're a legend. Can we have a round of applause? Round of pause. Sorry, Kit. You meowed at me then. You went, wow. A round of applause for Prancing Duck for fixing all the things. Are you shilling the Ethereum now? I'm goddamn right I'm shilling the Ethereum. And if you want to put in the chat as much as possible, like, hey, I come to this channel for all my tech advice, or Galaxy, or, you know, Bitcoin, or if you just want to drop a comment in there, in the thing, then the algorithm will know. It will see you writing those things, and then that will trigger the artificial abominable intelligence in the YouTubes to put more tech videos. And apparently YouTube is prime for tech videos unless you're 12 and it wants to put like My Little Pony videos on, or whatever the kids are into these days. I don't know. I think kids these days are mainly into I have no idea actually. Hopefully they're into Warhammers. But if you are a kid and you're into Warhammers and you are watching this, either right now, say hi in the chat, or if you're watching this as a VOD squad, if you're watching this as a VOD, as a VOD later on, drop in the chat, say hi. I'm a kid and I watch you and I'm into the Warhammers. I don't think I'm going to get that comment, but it'll blow my mind if there are any out there. Right, sip of water. With the electrolytes. Right, good. We've got a lot to catch up with, and already the chat has fixed my phone. Press the square icon. Who'd have thought it? I pressed about 1 billion other buttons, except for the square icon. The kids are into AdMech and elves. I'm a 35. Is 35 a kid? Probably. I think we should just have a phone up. I'm only 13. Prancing Duck is only 13. Are you really? Are you really only 13? No wonder why you knew how to fix it. Because kids, they grow up on iPads. They can navigate all the things much better. Prancing Duck. Well done, my sweet summer child. Only 13 years old. He's in the chat already. What an absolute legend. No one say shit or bugger. There's children present. We're all kids here, really. I've got 6 armies now. Wanted to start. You're 13 and you've got 6 armies. Who's buying all these armies for you? At the age of 13, quite frankly, that's incredible. Unless, of course, you've got a job. You're out there sweeping chimneys or down the mine, like we used to be when we were kids. Hello, Weasel. Thanks for joining in. Right, we fixed some stuff. We fixed some text. 44 means I'm young compared to other people than me. And the younger ones are more experienced at being immature. Only like 2,000 points of each. Prancing out 13 armies. No, sorry, 6 armies. 2,000 points of each. Right. How did you get them, though? I mean, are you chimney sweeping? The children yearn for the mines. They do, right? We took them out of the mines years ago. And now one of the most popular games, Minecraft. Back in the mines. They love the mines. Prancing Doc got that crypto money. He can buy 6 armies easy. 47 winters. Damn Legion, 47? What? Your age? Not my age. I'm in my 50s. Bits are beginning to fall off. Sip of water. Right. What were we going to talk about? Right, yes. First thing I want to talk about. Welcome. Let's restart the stream. We can edit that out. Professional, guys. Professional. Funded by parents. You have lovely parents if they bought you 6 armies at the age of 13. When I was a lad, I'd be lucky if I get half a crust of bread. Half a crust of bread. Every morning I had to get up and sweep out the cardboard box that we used to live in Took Gutter. Sweep it out. And then I'd go, and then I'd walk 10 miles down to the poor almshouse, have half a crust of bread and a flask of tar water, and then up and down the chimneys all day until at least midnight, and then go back to the box that was in the gutter and sleep in the gutter all day. I'd like shoes. I'd be lucky if I had shoes. You got 6 armies. You had a box. You were lucky. You had a box. Oh, we longed for a box. Oh, you lucky bastard. You had a box. We lived in a storm drain. I didn't get my first rhino until I was 40. Oh dear. You had a gutter? You knew where a storm drain was? Brilliant Monty Python sketch there for check it. Oh, yeah. Oh, dear. That's a good one, that is. Speaking of boxes, what? You had a chimney to sweep. You were lucky. All we had was dream of a box. We're not doing Monty Python. We'll be here all night. We'll be here all night. Anyway, right. No one say shit or bugger. There's a child in the chat, okay? With very generous parents. He's probably got a house or anything. Didn't have to live in a box. Right. Sip of water. Where were we? Yes, I was restarting. We'll edit that. We'll edit that out. Hi guys, and welcome to this Talky Tuesday live stream with me, your host, Winters SEO, the 2021 No Retreat Legend of Legends Champions, the greatest competitive Warhammer 40k player on the planet. I basically got a 100% win record at ITC, GCSEs, WTCs. And the reason why I didn't go to LVO last year is because I didn't want to clear everyone out. Didn't want to make all those pros look embarrassed. And I'm not going again this year. I might go at some point. I know you keep asking me because I am the most competitive, sweaty, table flipping, dice microwaving bastard there is on the internet. But I might get caught and I might beat everyone at the game and quite frankly elevate it to a whole new level. And they'll probably have to drop a whole dirty data sheet based on all the stuff that I just do on my own. So welcome to the Professional 40k channel, where we're here to answer any questions that you have about rules, where I can scream at your list building ideas and tell you how terrible you are, and urge you to buy the most FOMO thing that Games Workshop released in the history of Games Workshop and ever. That's not the intro. That doesn't work. That was like 99% lies. That's just, I couldn't even keep a straight face. I was trying to lock it in. Oh dear. Good thing I have my boots on wading through all this bullshit. Do you think the obliterated models will make their way to 30k? Some of them will. Some of them will. Most of them no. I think many of the obliterated models will come back. So the legend stuff, like Leviathan, Dreadnought, Spartans, things like that, which you can bring into, those things are going to stay in 30k. They were designed, the stuff designed for 30k that you could bring in 40k is a thing and will always be a thing. Like the Custodes big Dreadnought guys and the other, like the Custodes army that we saw the other day on the channel. Those things will always be a thing with the 30k crossover, using those models in 40k. Most of the stuff that's legended, 90% of it is going to come back at some point, I think, in a different kind of sculpt, in a different kind of form, in a different kind of thing. If they've sold it before and it worked, it will come back at some point because it worked. If it didn't sell at all, it might not come back. I don't think we'll see the Stalker or Hunter again. We didn't really want to see them the first time round. They were a terrible idea. Do they have Ironclad Dreads in 30k? No, they don't have Conticard Dreads in 30k yet. But when Heresy 3.0 or 4.0 or 17.0 comes out, at some point in the future, we'll probably see Conticard Dreads in, and including the Ironclad pattern, in 30k. Because they'll want to sell it to us again. Because, Dreads. We like Dreads. We like big Dreads, and I cannot lie. Water, clear the throat, check with chat, redo the intro, restart. We've got a lot to talk about. Have you given any thoughts on Heresy Bat Rap with the Orcs Codex that showed up online? I've been having a blast with them. It's so damn fluffy in the way it was written. That's an interesting question. There is a community rule set out there. I've got it written down somewhere, but it's been on the internet. If you Googled 30k Xenos factions or 30k community alien, I don't know. If you Googled it, there is a rule set and rule that it exists. There's a very big common community led Xenos thing going on where you can play Xenos things in 30k, and it's been around since first edition. And someone will know in the chat what it is. And people keep asking, hey, you should do this, and hey, you should do that. Yeah, it's all good ideas. And never say never. But yeah, it's just so many other games. If someone turned up here, for example, say, look, I've got my orcs and I've been playing them in 30k. One, they turn up here and they've got their orcs or their Eldar and they've been playing them with 30k and they've got some experience of playing them with 30k and they know about the rule set. I would film it, I'd stick it on the internet. But me doing it myself would involve me going to research a thing and read about it and play it a bit before I filmed it and put it on the internet, and playing it and finding someone to be willing to throw the orcs at them. It's a complicated process. It involves multiple steps, and it's definitely not some. You're talking to the wrong content creator here. That sounds like too much work. Me personally, if it's in easy reach, I'm going for it. I'm going for the stuff in easy reach. The stuff where you have to do the research and then find the thing to do the thing and then play the thing. That's too many steps. And Steps were a great band when they were around. They were good. We liked Steps, but one of them's dead now, R.I.P. And they're not a thing anymore. Prancing Duck will have no idea what I'm talking about. Daz and Des, thank you for your 31 months at tier 3. Happy Tuesday, he says. Happy Tuesday to you too, sir. 30 months is a very long time. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Nice. That last bat rep. Yes, that's one of the things on my list. So we'll do the intro again. Hi, welcome to this Talkie Tuesday with me, your non-competitive, narrative, chillaxing, 40k and heresy content creator, Winters. SEO. Oh God, I'm sorry I live in America. Maybe when I get my I decided to add some Uzuraks on my account. Uzuraks are very good. Get 2 boxes. They're very good. You will like them. They add quite a bit of speed and mobility to a Mechanicum 30k list. I don't often run 2 units of them. I don't think but I've got 2 units full. Uzuraks are good. Uzuraks are good. One of the few things that, they're good. One of the few things in Mechanicum that actually has a weapon skill of 3, because most of the Mechanicum units in Heresy, weapon skill 4. Most of the Mechanicum units in Heresy have weapon skill 3. They're not as good as fighting as Legionaries. So Legionaries are, like the law, because Heresy is written with the law in mind. Law first. They don't even know what competitive when they come to Heresy's rule writing. It's like Space Marines are better at fighting Mechanicum, so Space Marines hit them better. But Mechanicum, big scary robots, when they hit them, they're hard, they're strong, they're bam. So, but Uzuraks are one of the few units that actually have a weapon skill of 4 and can compete with basic Marines. As soon as you have elite Marines and bad boys, then they're going to get smacked about a bit. But they're good. They add, yes, I would recommend a box of Uzuraks for anyone who's interested in collecting Mechanicum. Anyone. They'll find a place in 90% of your lists. You didn't miss, Marius, welcome to the chat. You didn't miss the intro. You haven't missed anything. Not sure what keeps happening with YouTube and my membership. Manual payment every month. Odd. It's... thank you for coming back. Tuesday, what are you guys talking about? It's Wednesday. Silver Crow is talking from the future. This says yes. Right, we need to do... Right. Hi, it's me, your host, Witness SEO, Talkie Tuesday. We did that again. Emperor's Children. I won a game of Emperor's Children. Spoiler, if you haven't seen the Sundays one... I hope you have seen the Sundays one, because I just spoiled it. But I won a game with the Emperor's Children. I'm looking forward to playing with the Emperor's Children a lot as we go forward. I do think that Fran didn't bring the bestest Necrons list. We can talk about that if you want to. But it wasn't the bestest Necrons list. And why he's coming forward with the Doomstalkers, don't know. Also, he had a really couple of bad dice rolling. And he didn't focus on the Knight, which I would have done as well. I'm not sure. Anyway, so Emperor's Children. We won a game. We've got a second box of Champions of Slanesh, which we're busily painting up. There's like a stage 1 guy, because I've got 20 of the punchy guys. So now I need to build 20 of the shooty guys. These guys are partially painted. We're getting there with them. And then we've got lots of bases from marchofwar.co.uk. And that's the first 2 shades on them before they go grey and white. We got them. We may also have some other Emperor's Children stuff, which I can't talk about yet. So we're going hard into the Emperor's Children. I've won a game already. I wanted to say, while we've got all together the community, while we're chatting, by the way, that chat community, Winters SEO community, VOD squad, everyone, members, non-members, strap yourselves in. By the end of the year, you might be a little bit sick of Emperor's Children. We're going to go hard, okay? We're going to go hard into the Emperor's Children this year. I make no apologies for it. When I collected the Necrons, I made sure I had almost all the Necrons. When I'm going with the Emperor's Children, I'm going to make sure I have almost all. I mean, it's so small, that book. I can get all the things. We're going to go hard into the Emperor's Children. And then we're going to get a bunch of demons as well to make sure we go hard at. We're going to... I have been in a 40k hobby heaven for the last month or so working on these Emperor's Children. I have been. I smashed Eisenhorn, Ravener, Beckwin. We're on to the Night Lords trilogy on the Audible right now while we're working through the new stuff. I am in 40k hobby heaven right now. I am enjoying myself a great deal putting this project together. I've enjoyed every single game of Emperor's Children I've played, even the ones that I've been trounced. It's just, there's something about watching a new project slowly come into life and setting up for a battle and putting out all your new models and all your new toys and looking at each and every one of them going, that's nice, that is. There's something about that. It's just something about watching a project come to life. It's this hobby that we're in. The painting, the collecting, the holding, the things that it's tactile, it's visual, it's I'm in hobby heaven. So I'm really enjoying it, and we are going hard into the Emperor's Children. So please forgive me. And if you're not a massive Emperor's Children fan, maybe I can convince you from the end of the year. Blood Buffalo, thank you for your $2 donation. I appreciate you. Emperor's Children, but won't chocolate his berries. Chocolate and berries is too extreme. Okay, it's excessive. The Emperor's Children might be excessive. It might put fruit and chocolate together like some sort of chaos mashup, like Penguin on a surfboard and fire it out of a cannon. It might be something crazy like that. Emperor's Children eat berries and chocolate, but Emperor's Children as a collection isn't that Slaneshi. It's just the collection. It's yes. Look, I'm enjoying. Look, thank you for your donation, but I'm enjoying the hobby right now. It doesn't matter what edition. It doesn't matter what detachment. It doesn't matter what data slate update. It doesn't matter if there's a new codex coming out. It doesn't matter which way the meta shifts. Having a project in front of you and slowly bringing it to life and watching these units appear and playing with them for the first time and playing against different armies for the first time. That's the first time I played the Emperor's Children against Necrons. It's so satisfying, and it's why I do this, and it's why you do this. It's why we all do this. I'm enjoying it. I'm in hobby heaven, and I wanted to thank you guys, because I wouldn't be in hobby heaven doing this if it wasn't for your marvelous support. So you're marvelous people. Give yourself a pat on the back. Hydrate. Everyone take a sip of their tea, water, gin and tonic, Pims, or electrolyte water. Stay healthy, people. Thank you for your support. You absolute legends. Killer Kriegsman has been a member for 13 months. Didn't you just become a tier 1 member right up above? See, 30 months I wasn't skiving. But you just became a tier 1 like half hour ago. And now apparently you've been a member for 13 months. What the hell is going on with the YouTubes? Emperor's Children would put strawberries on a pizza. Yes, that's a real thing. There's a new fact. Is there a new fact? The Night Lords trilogy should be made into a TV show. Agree. Are you painting the Emperor's Children yourself? Yes. What's the scheme like? That You know the pink and the black? Well, I've gone purple and black because purple, Gene Stealer purple. That's the purple that Forge World used to recommend for OG Empress Children in 30k. So that's how I painted my 30k Empress Children, and I really like that purple. There's something about, and then one, I really like the purple, the OG scheme. Two, I know how to work with purple. Pink is a bright color like yellow. It's a hard one to do well. So I knew what we were working with. So we spray silver, lead belcher. And then the black bits we do in black Templar contrast. Black Templar contrast. And then we dry brush grey, dry brush white to make the black pop. So that's the black bit. And the contrast gets into all the cracks and things. Then we do all the purple panels. Then we pick out the details. Null and oil. Highlight up from there. Done. Easy. I keep thinking I'll make a video on it at some point. But if you've watched any of my painting tutorial videos, it'll be the same as every other painting tutorial video I've ever made. Which is put the base colours on. Null and oil. Highlight. Done. It'll be that. That's, yeah, maybe I should do a short on it. Hey, here's a winner. It says, hey, how I painted my Emperor's Children. Also, there's about 1,000 YouTube videos on here's how to paint Emperor's Children, which are a lot better than mine on the internets right now. Do you think Noise Marines will work in a Night Lord's list Dread Talents? If you ran Chaos Space Marines with a Night Lord's twist to them, then in the Chaos Space Marines Codex you can add Khorne Berserkers, Noise Marines, Emerald. Yes, you could put them in that. They would work, yes. Noise Marines are pretty good. They're a well-costed, solid-ish unit for the Emperor's Children. Mind you, the reason why I'm saying that is because in the Emperor's Children they don't have any shooty really, apart from unless it's a Land Raider or something like that. They've got zero guns. It's all about the punch. It's all about dumping them in off the top rope, going hi Yunkin. So the Noise Marines feel particularly strong in an Emperor's Children list, probably because they're the only guns that the Emperor's Children have really. So whether it'll work in a Night Lord's list, don't know. But it'd be cool AF. Marius Gage, thank you for your 18 months, absolute legend. Did you consider running Fulgrim in your list instead of the Knight? I don't know what you're talking about, Governor. Fulgrim has not even been released or leaked yet, except for the 30k one. And I haven't got the 30k one. Rue! Talking about someone coming in off the top rope. John Cena. Rue coming in off the top rope. GG's for Rue, gifting 5 memberships. I nearly said 5 memberships there. I'm glad I didn't say that. Rue, thank you for your 5 memberships. Fuck. Shit. Don't swear. There's children in the ships. Thank you for your 5 memberships, Rue. You absolute legend. Thank you. We've got Prancing Someone Duck, I think, in the chat. We're not allowed to swear this evening. I didn't even know that you were 13. Hey, Prancing Duck, if you're still in the chat and your parents are buying you all these armies, they should get you a membership as well. He's still here. He's still here. You should tap Mummy and Daddy on the shoulder, or however your family thing is, and say, can you get me tier 3 Winters SEO membership? Because then I'll get an extra battle report every single Winters Wednesday. Help support the channel as well. What colour do you use for your gold bronze on your Horus Heresy Emperor's Children? So, Horus Heresy Emperor's Children, we are using, because we're using a bronze on the 40k one and a gold on the other one. We are using, on the Horus Heresy one, Auric Armor Gold. Now, when painting gold, the trick for painting gold is do not just paint gold. So you need a silver base, and then you put your Auric Gold on top. And then you're basically highlighting on top of the gold with silver. So say lead belcher base, then gold on top of the lead belcher base, and then highlight on top of that a nice sharp silver like Runefang silver. There's a trick to painting gold, and gold isn't gold. Gold is a gold base with silver on top. Where it catches the sunlight, where it catches the edges, it's silver. It's like when I did that video on painting black, how to paint Raven Guard. The secret for painting black isn't black. If you look at any black thing and look at it properly, it isn't actually black. There's greys, there's browns, there's blues, there's things. Black, like where you see that videos online of, hey, I painted this room in this type of black, like the blackest black you can ever get, and you put the blackest black. If true black absorbs all the light and you can't see it, black is not black. It's actually a grey or a brown or a thing. And gold is not gold. Gold is a gold base with a Runefang silver on top, or if you want to dull it down, a lead belcher silver on top. So you've actually got about 50% of gold and the rest is silver. That's the gold that I use on my Emperor's Children in 30k. In 40k, we're doing a brassy thing, and we're using brass scorpion. Brass scorpion. And the reason why we're doing brass scorpion on the 40k and not gold on the 40k is because on the 30k Emperor's Children, they're mainly just purple. So the gold drags it up again. Also, the reason why we're doing gold on the 30k ones is because we're sticking to the official colors that they use in 30k. So the white represents, they have a lot of white and they have a lot of purple in 30k. White panels and purple is their color. And then there's a lot of silver and platinum to represent veteran status in 30k. And it's all about brightness, and so gold and bring it up. And so, but in 40k we went for brass, and we got the black, so we're actually pulling it down a bit. We're pulling it down, so the purple and the silver pops a bit, but the black and the brass pulls it down a bit, and you get this contrast of colors that works really well together. Color wheel theory, which I've got no idea about any of that sort of stuff. Only I know I've got a few years of experience of knowing what colors work well with other colors. Yay at the beach and get to play 40k instead of work today. Mental health days was needed. Nice. Let's hope the internet holds out. Nice. When are you talking about your Emperor's Children? I love the color scheme in 30k. How you paint the purple. When are you talking about your? I'm talking about the Emperor's Children now, Timmy. Talking. How you paint the purple. The purple is Gene Stealer purple. So you spray your miniature silver, and then you put, for your purple, put the Gene Stealer purple on top. I'm using Gene Stealer purple because back in the day, Imperial Armor 1, not Imperial Armor 1, but Horus Heresy 1, sorry, they said that this was the color for the official Emperor's Children purple. Because I think there's an Emperor's Children purple, but the Emperor's Children purple is not purple. It's like 40k thing. This was the 30k one, Emperor, and you put that on top of silver. Now you're going to need two thin coats because it doesn't go on there in one coat. So two thin coats to give a nice purple shine, and then you do the wash, and then after the wash you put some more purple on it, so you end up with 3 layers of purple on, and that will bring the definition. So you don't do the insides or gaps. You don't do the bits where the armor comes together. You paint it all purple where the armor comes together, but when you do the second layer, don't paint the gap in the gap. You just do the bit at the top, and then you put the non-oil in. And then when you do the third layer, when you're highlighting up after the non-oil, you just do the top bits. And then you've got this shading coming down from the top bits down to the... It works. It works. That way. I mean white. What? I just talked about purple. What about white? How do you paint the white? White, okay, so white. White is a really hard color to paint, like black. That's what most people think. How do I do black well? How do I do white? These are impossible colors to do. But they're not. There are tricks to painting black, which black isn't black. Black is a grey with a wash on top, or a brown or a wash on. White, there's an easy way to do white as well. And white isn't white. You should start with a grey. So whenever you want to paint a white surface, a white helmet, like on the 13th, or white wherever, white tank, white panels, paint grey. You can start off with an Eschen grey, and then go up to Dawnstone grey, and then do the white on top of that. Or you can go straight with Dawnstone grey, and then do white on top of that. You can do Nuln Oil again. You can wash the whole thing in Nuln Oil and then go straight back to a white on top of that. It doesn't matter what white you use. Some people use White Scar, some people use... I've got... This stuff is particularly good as well. I'm not one for recommending particular paint. What is this one? Bold Titanic White Acrylic Paint. That one works really well. But I also use White Scar because I don't have to reach as far as for that one. But grey with white on top. That's how you paint white. And then if you're washing a whole model Nuln Oil, you can, and then just do white straight to it. And you pull it up. So, because if you just put white on something, you're always going to see the colour underneath, and the colour underneath, and the colour underneath. So base grey underneath. Okay? Tar. Good. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to paint my Titan's armor white. Something that big is scary for white. Yes. So Marius Gage, if you've got a Titan, so like my Titans, I sprayed silver, and probably do the panel separately. All the silver bits underneath and all the machine parts, quite easy to do because you're going to put brassy colours under there and a dull mechanic under there, particularly in all the joints, and then you're going to wash that. So spray silver with your dull metallic colours, put in patches here, there and everywhere. You Nuln Oil the thing, and then you highlight up from there back to silver again, and then you'll have this. That's how you do the dirty, like mechanical silver isn't just silver. It's got the grime and the grit and the things grind into it. So for the white on the panels, paint them grey first, and then do the white on top. And then that'll look much, much better than do it. Yes. I recommend stippling whenever you're doing wide panels. So my Titans are stippled. My Knights are stippled. Rhymes with nippled. Because it will break up the flat surface. So you could have a grey and you could stipple white, and then you could paint Dawnstone grey. If I was doing a white colour, I wouldn't do white, personally. I'd break up the white. I would paint grey, I would stipple white, and then I'd stipple grey again. And then you'll have that two-tone effect going through. So grey, stipple white, stipple grey. And then you might even stipple white again back on top of that. Grey, white, grey. And then you'll get a good, nice blend. It depends how bright you want it to be. And you'll get a good, nice blend going through. Or you could just paint them white, which means start with grey. I was painting my Titos as Legio Venator. Nice. It's just that they're just Titans and Knights who've got such wide, flat panels on. So you've got to be careful with the thing. For my Lunar Walls, spray grey sear primer. Then I use basilicum grey contrast. Then I dry past pallid witch flesh layer paint and finish off with a dry brush of white scar layer. Yes. Now, another way to do white, Games Workshop will tell you. The contrast method is you either spray Wraithbone or you paint Wraithbone white. And then you use contrast apothecary white, which, I mean, it will turn white. So Wraithbone white and then contrast on top. This will work for vehicles. This will work for, but do not do it on tiny things. Do not do it on helmets. Do not do it on stuff like that. Because the contrast method on the Wraithbone with Apothecarian white, some contrast paints works really, really well. Some contrast paints are banging. But the Apothecary White contrast paint isn't great. Pickle, do you know the name of the man that believes it to be ever them? Cobwebs and orange spider logo. Jane got to do a good white. Yes, right. Emperor's Children. We talked about that. Right, yes. Ugh. How long have we been going? Over an hour. Stay hydrated, people. How are we doing? We okay? Right. Other things, yes. There's a lot to catch up with this evening, guys. I wanted to announce a thing. Those of you who are members, or hi Woodsy, welcome. Did I say that? Anyway, I wanted to announce a thing. Those of you members who've seen the video know about this already. This is going out there to the rest of the YouTubes now. I don't know if I'm going to cut this and stick it on a separate thing, but I'm not sure. But I am running a 2-day narrative event with the help of marchofwar.co.uk at Element Games in Manchester on the 27th and 28th of September. Tickets are now available. Go to marchofwar.co.uk and click on the events page at the top, and you will find tickets for the 2-day narrative event, 27th, 28th of September 2005, called The End and the Death. It's a Warhammer 40k event that's called The End and the Death. Tickets are now available, and there's just over 20 left. We had 90 to sell, and we've already sold like just under 70 of them in 3 or 4 days whenever I put the video up. So they went flying out the gate. Hopefully we were able to sell all the tickets and fill up the room. That would be epic. And it's been 3.5 years since I last ran a 2-day narrative event. Did a bunch of them down in the Factorum back in the DZTVD days, but I haven't done a narrative event for many years. And they're one of the funnerest things I've done. And they're one of the things that when people come along to Winter's events have said that they're some of the funniest events that they've ever been to in the history of ever. And this one, The End and the Death, I'm really looking forward to this one because I think it's probably going to be the best one I ever did. I've got a really good idea for the story. I've got a really good idea for the missions. It's a narrative event, and some of the twists and turns that happen along the way. It's a narrative event, so there are twists and turns that happen along the way. There is no first place. There is no last place. I won't be keeping score. We are giving away 4 £100 prizes for best army. And one of those will be decided by the people at the event. But The End and the Death narrative event is, there's going to be lots of death happening. It's very grimdark. It's set on the planet of Gehenna Prime after the war. So for those of you who've been following the channel for some time will know that about the Gehenna system war that happened. Those that haven't, it doesn't matter. All you need to know is that there was a colossal war in the Gehenna system when the Great Rift ripped its way across the galaxy. And the Great Rift ripped its way across the galaxy right outside the Gehenna system. So it spat into the Gehenna system, Tyranids and Tau and bits and pieces from all over. It just got spat out of the Great Rift during the turmoil, during the catastrophe that was the coming of the Red Path across the galaxy. And the Gehenna system, Gehenna Prime in the Gehenna system, is a prime world, a sector capital, was a prime world, not just in charge of the system that it's in, but in charge of multiple systems around in the Gehenna sector. And it was trashed. There was billions of deaths, many factions. The Imperium rushed there to support Gehenna Prime. The Chaos Forces are rushed there to destroy the Gehenna Prime. There were Xenos forces popping up all over the Gehenna system doing stuff and things. And in the ensuing war, the entire system and Gehenna Prime was destroyed. Billions of people died. Indeed, the fortress planet, which was the innermost planet in the Gehenna system called Volcanus, was blown up and destroyed. And the outermost planet in the Gehenna system, Sentinel, which was a bastion world, was turned into a nuclear fireball by the end of the war. And now, Gehenna Prime is a rad-saturated, post-apocalyptic, grim, dark wasteland. And if you're taking part in the event, that's all you ever really need to know. It's about as grim and dark as it gets. Your forces, your factions are stranded in this post-apocalyptic, grim, dark wasteland where everything has died, and it's called the end and the death, and a lot of people are going to die. There are restrictions on what you can bring. There will be no named characters, no epic heroes. Calgar has already left. Abaddon doesn't care about this cinder, this lump of ashes that is left over. So there's no named characters, there's no greater demons, and no titanic units as well. They've all been airlifted off. They all managed to escape. And if you're there, your faction is trapped on this world. Either you missed your extraction window, and there's no hope of extraction now, it's your narrative, or your extraction was destroyed, or they thought your faction, your little army, was destroyed and comms went down, or your Tyranids and there was never any hope of extraction to begin with, or your Tau and there was never any hope of extraction to begin with, because in the orbital skies above Gehenna Prime, up there is just junk and lifeless bodies and lifeless battleships floating in the void. The war is over. The war ended a couple of years ago, and everyone and everything that was left was extracted, left the planet, and is gone. There's nothing left to win because everybody died. But some people were left behind. Some people missed the boat. Some people had their battleship shut down, their battle cruiser shut down, and they can't get off the planet. Some people are stuck there. They made sure Abaddon and Calgar and Magnus and all the other name guys, they all got off there. Anyone who's above but you and your forces are stuck on the planet. And the Great Rift is slowly getting closer. So the end of the death is 4 2,000 point games over the 27th and 28th with a ticking clock, with the Great Rift getting closer, and a lot of people are going to die. If you have an ongoing narrative for certain names and certain characters in your collection, I would advise you not to bring them along to a Winter's SEO narrative campaign called The End and the Death. If you have a Chaplain Snow or a Brother Captain Sol Garrow or people like that you have in your permanent collection, I would strongly advise you not to bring them along to a Winter's SEO narrative event called The End and the Death, which is set on a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland with the Great Rift pushing ever closer with no hope of extraction. Unless you want to fight that narrative event and not have those events affect the permanent narrative that you have for your army. I wouldn't. But if you're someone like me who, when I used to go to big events, I used to tie that into my narrative, or someone like me who has run big events and narrative campaigns on the channel and narrative missions on the channel, and there are many of the narrative campaigns are still in the member section, in the video section. If you're like me and like tying that stuff into your overall narrative, I wouldn't be bringing them along to this campaign. Lots of people are going to die. We're not even doing loyalists versus heretics. We're not even making sure that there's an even spread of Xenos Chaos Imperial tickets out there. Because in the couple of years that you've been fighting in this post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland, you have been attacked by your own faction. You have, if you're an Imperial force, you have been attacked by other Imperial forces who said they were loyal, just like you, and have attacked you. You may have been a Space Marine faction and have been attacked by other Space Marine factions who say, yeah, well, we're definitely loyal, we're definitely not Alfarius, and they've attacked you too. If you're a Tyranid Hive Fleet, a Splinter Hive Fleet trapped on the world, well, the biomass is definitely running out. You've attacked each other. If you're Tau, then those Tau forces over there, oh look, friends, football friends. Those Tau have attacked you. Maybe they've been infected by the warp. And if you're orcs and you've bumped into other orcs, well, you're orcs. I'm not going to divide the forces by faction. Everyone has lied to you. Everyone's abandoned you. You're left behind. You're going to die. But is there hope? Is there a way off? Is there a way to escape the end of Gehenna and the death of a world? I really look forward to it. 4 2,000 point games, 2 on the Saturday, 2 on the Sunday. Lunch is provided. Tickets are available at marchofwar.co.uk, 27th, 28th of September. We've booked out the whole hall for the whole weekend. So if you want to fight on a Saturday night as well, you can. If you want to fight on a Sunday, you can. I think they're holding the bar open until 11 o'clock on the Saturday night. So I'll be in there getting drunk. I'll be going up on the Friday night. And then we've made them put aside half of the hall for everyone on the Friday night as well. And they're going to stay open until 11 o'clock on the Friday night before the event begins. If you want to play on the Friday night before the event begins, then I think there's the standard fee that you need to pay Element if you turn up there at any time. I think it's like a $5, and then you can play on their tables. And I know a chunk of people will be going up on the Friday night. There is a story. There is narrative aplenty. There are swerve balls and curve balls coming at you. And yeah. Anyway, that's what's coming. The narrative, End and the Death, Winter's SEO. I think this is... I worked harder on this story and worked harder on the missions. When you sit down and write these things, there's got to be a reason why, like, we could have divided it, like at the start, clean canvas. Okay, make sure we have a third Xenos tickets, a third Imperial tickets, a third... You could divide it that way, and you can have reasons why these armies are going against each other. Servo Skull, thank you for your donation. GG's in the chat for Servo Skull, I appreciate it. Thanks for the teaser, he said. $19.99 US dollars. He's probably not even coming because it's US dollars. Are you coming all the way from America? Are you in America? GG's in the chat for Servo Skull. Thank you for your donation. Thanks for the teaser. Yeah, but when you're writing these things, there's like, do I want to do that? No. I didn't want to tell people what they could or could not bring. So I wanted to have a scenario, a story where anyone could bring anything they want, and reasons why anyone could be fighting anyone else. Like when on the first mission, on the first day and the second day, I'm going to try and divide it up as best as I can based on what armies people have brought along. We're going to try and divide it up as best as we can to make sure that most Imperial players don't fight Imperial players, or Chaos players don't invite. We're gonna make sure that it's more unlikely that you run into. If I'm a Space Marine, I'm fighting Space Marines. We're gonna make it more unlikely that you're gonna run into each other. There's, oh yeah, and then the missions. There's so many things going on. I don't want to spoil it. Then each of the missions, like how does it begin? How does it end? How do you want to tie them together? Is there any lasting effects between each mission in a narrative campaign? Or do you want 4 individual chapters? Spoilers, there are some lasting effects between some of the games and some individual chapters. How important do you want to make the Warlord or not? Killer Kriegsman, thank you. Thank you for your donation. £2, not much, but it's enough for tea. Killer Kriegsman, every little helps. I really appreciate your £2 donation. GG's in the chat for Killer Kriegsman as well. Can we have some GG's in the chat for Servo Skull and Killer Kriegsman, please? These donations are awesome. I appreciate you very much. Every donation helps. If everyone donated £2 right now, we've got just over 50 people in the chat. That will be, math says, £1,000. There'll be £1,000 by the end of the stream. And I'll probably go to Portugal tomorrow and get some winter sun. And if everyone donated £2 like you, Killer Kriegsman, in every single stream, by the end of the year, I'll probably be a millionaire. That's maths. So yeah, how do you want to tie it together? So the overall story, important. How do you want to tie it together? Important. Lasting effects, important. Missions, like you got to have the missions can't be too complex because the game itself is complex enough, but they need to have enough. It's a delicate balancing act going on there, and I think I've nailed this one. I think I'm really looking forward to seeing how this turns out. I'm sure that of the 90 people in the room, at least 80 of them will have a great time. Probably the best narrative event I've ever done. There, I said it. It's going to be the best narrative event I've ever done. Service Goals donated $1.99. There's another £2 into Service Goal donating and Service Goal donating. Thank you very much. Couldn't resist. Thank you, Service Goal. I think your maths is a bit wrong on the first bit. What are you talking about, Prancing Duck? That was perfect math. £2 times 50 is 1,000. I think that's how math works. It's been a long time since I was in school. Yeah, so we did the thing. The missions are good. The missions are good. The story is good. The ongoing thing is good. GG's, by the way. So, Service Car, I appreciate you. Is good. And I didn't want a first place. I didn't want a last place. I'm not going to be keeping score. Marius Gage, thank you for your donation. GG's. Will there be a post summary for non-attending? I hadn't thought about that at all. Marius, on the 23rd of... So here's something for you, Marius. On the 23rd of September, throughout September, when I do live streams in September, thank you, Marius Gage, you need to remind me, you need to poke me and poke me and poke me throughout September, because I can go, right now, I can go, yeah, that's a great idea, because I think that is a good idea, and I'd love to give a post summary for those not attending. So the answer to your question is, I'd like there to be a post summary for non-attending people. So I needed to be reminded of that in September and poked. More importantly, actually, if you're in the chat and you come along to the narrative event, then poke me there. Poke me hard and say, make sure you, and then I can film some stuff. Yes, that would be a good idea. That is a good idea. Stuart Fields is dropping a donation, giving you are so nicely. Thank you, Stuart Fields. $5 New Zealand dollars. It's not real money, but thank you for your donation. Jackus Woods, $1.99. Any special traits for characters? That's it. Thank you, Jackus Woods. Thank you, Stuart Fields. GG's in the chat to both of you. I appreciate you. GG's, Woods and Fieldsy. Oh dear. Are live streams or Discord best place to poke me? Both. Poke me in a Discord, poke me on a live stream, poke me at the event. Brilliant. Are there any special traits for characters? Now, yes and no. So, the pack, if you go to muchwar.co.uk and buy the ticket, then there's a link that you can click on and see the pack. And the pack was originally 4 pages long when I first wrote it, and then I spent like 5 hours one day last week ripping the pack apart, and I trimmed it all the way down to 2 pages. I took out lots and lots and lots of crap and made it as small as I could. And the first page is basically narrative. There's a page of narrative and then some rulesy stuff. And I took out one of the rules that I was going to stick in there, which was special traits for characters. That was going to be a thing. And I took it out. And Paco the Tacobadida has dropped in $2 as well. Thank you, Paco. Paco the, thank you for your donation. GG's in the pack for Paco the. Paco the Taco Bender. What a username. Is that what it is? Paco the Taco Bender? Thank you, Paco the Taco Bender. You absolute legend. What a username indeed. Thank you for your donation, guys. Thank you. I'm feeling blessed. Yes, so I was going to stick in special traits for characters. There's lots of things you could do. I did have a warlord traits table. I took that stuff out. And there's a couple of reasons why I took it out. One is because Warhammer 40k with detachments, with the balanced data slates, and can be complicated enough. And And I'm allowing, I think it's on the pack, like we're going to use the most up-to-date data slates, the most up-to-date points, the most up-to-date things within 24 hours of the event. If anything changes after 48 hours before the event, if anything changes between the 48 hours before we go to the event or at that weekend, we're not using it. So it's already a moving target, Warhammer 40k. And then there's stuff that's going to happen in the mission, and there may or may not be lasting effects to some of it. There's some stuff that's going to happen as well. So considering the things that I wanted to do to you in the missions and some of the twists and turns, I took it out because you can add and you can add and you can put another layer on the cake and another layer on the cake and another thing on the cake and then you might get weighed down by rules, and I don't want to weigh you down by rules. I want to give you an immersive experience. But there are, and when I say yes or no lasting effects to character, there are a couple of things and some character things there is, but I'm not going to spoil it. And Greg Shimonin has dropped in $5 Canadian. Thank you so much. It's not real money, he says. No, it's not real money. But thank you. I'm feeling blessed this evening, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, GG's Greg Shimonin from Canada. I'm assuming CA is Canada. It's either Canada or California. I don't know, it's probably Canada. It's probably Canada. Yeah. So there are no special traits for characters when you turn up. Yes. And Jackus, you've been along to a few March of Winters.co.uk as well. You know how things happen as it goes. Yes, you know what I'm like. So the first mission is easing you in, and then it's going to get a bit. Yes. So this is advice for when you are writing campaigns yourself. Don't drown your participants in rules. And I think this is one of the reasons why the Crusade rules for Games Workshop hasn't been the massive hit they hoped it would be. Yes, I know there are some people out there who really like the Crusade rules and some people out there who really lean into the Crusade. And I do get comments from people saying, I love it and we did the thing. But I'm sorry to say that the Crusade people are in a minority. There's too many rules in the Crusade pack to make narrative people latch onto it. What you should do in the Crusade pack is have maps and stories and stakes and twists and turns, but not this and this and this and this and this rules, and not here's a way the rules can get you away from the story, and the story comes first. You know, what the 40k made it to the live. Like for the light gods, skulls for the scrolling phones. If everyone could like the stream, then we could get above 36 likes. That'd be amazing. Will you be going around and randomly interfering in people's battles again? I will not be going around and randomly interfering in people's battles again. I will be randomly interfering with everyone's battles at the same time. There are things you can pull from Crusade, but I wouldn't lean into it completely. I'm pulling nothing from Crusade, Inchin. Hi, Inchin. Thanks, see you in the chat. Story comes first. Yes. Paco, the taco bender, said, hashtag story comes first. Story comes first. The stakes come first. The ticking clock first. The mission first. These things first. That's your immersive experience. Story comes first. Try and immerse people in the thing. Yes. Anything else? So yeah, so the pack itself, I mean, anyone can click on the marchofwar.co.uk thing and click on the pack and see what I put in there. But I took half of it out. And then the rules, and then the rules and things, and the mission stuff, I've been writing on my pads, and then they've got that one, and the other one over there with all the stuff on. And then I rewrote it. So you put a lot of stuff in, and then you take bits out to make it more. Yes. Anyone can add rules on top of rules. I think part of the problem with the Games Workshop rules writing department is that you've got people who are paid to write rules, and so they add more rules on top of the rules. And one of the geniuses that they did with 8th edition is they took away as many rules as they could. They trimmed it all the way down, and why 8th edition is one of the best editions they ever launched, and why it was such a massive success is because they took so much out and trimmed it all the way down to the bare essentials. And since then they've been adding rules and adding rules and adding, and now we have data sheets every 3 months and more rules and things. And it's the problem with the rules writers is they love writing rules. It's almost like they're paid for rules per minute or something or other. But one of the important things you should do if you're writing a narrative container or writing rules is try and take stuff out, not add stuff in. Do you need that rule? Remember 9th edition when they had 3 paragraphs explaining how to do one thing, like the Gene Stealer Cult special rule was like an indecipherable lawyer speak page on how units could disappear and come back again. Do you remember that? I even did a rant video on it at the time. All of that could have been trimmed down to 2 or 3 sentences to have the same effect. Pull out. Tazunara from Japan. Welcome. Thank you. Shogun Season 2 coming out anytime soon, Tazunara? Because I saw you in Shogun Season 1 and I really liked it. I'm looking forward to Season 2. Do tilted characters count as named characters? I think it's epic heroes, named characters. I think so. In the, what are they called? Damn it, brain. Keywords. In the keyword section where it says infantry, monster, Titanic, named characters are epic heroes. Those ones. If it's got the epic hero keyword, that counts. If it hasn't got the epic hero keyword, you can't use it. And basically, I think it's, are legends allowed? Legends are allowed. Legends bring legends. You come to one of my events, I encourage you to bring legend units. Bring them along. Just no greater demons, no Titanic units, and no epic heroes or named characters. None of your Kargars, none of your counts as Eldrad, none of that sort of shenanigans. What do you think about all the new detachments and then adding new ones, what it feels? Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. What do I'm Prancing Duck. Come back to another live stream when I'm more on target and we'll talk about that. That is a good one, Prancing Duck. That's a good discussion. I could do a whole live stream on what do I think about the new detachments and then them adding new detachments all the time. That's a whole live stream right there. Legends play legends. Yeah. I've been nearly going on 2 hours and we still haven't done my other thing. I haven't talked about A-roads. Like I dropped into the stream, dropped into the Discord beforehand and said, hey guys, what do we want to talk about on this live stream? And a lot of people said A-roads. Like, are A-roads that aren't dual carriageways, are there even really A-roads? Is the A303 really as legendary as they say? We could do a whole conversation about A-roads, but I think we'd alienate some of the non-UK audience. But I think A-roads are an important conversation. That's the whole topic for another live stream. I've got an alarm every Tuesday to remind me to join the stream. Nice, Prancing Duck. You're a well-behaved 13-year-old, you know. You're a very well-behaved 13-year-old. Thank you. Tell all the kids at school that I'm not a bad guy, that I come in peace. On all videos, sometimes can be 2 weeks before. What are we talking about? The Empress Champion is an epic hero. Damn it! Yeah, the Empress Champion is not going to be there. I want you to bring... So, all the big important stuff isn't on the burning remaining ash of a destroyed world. The big important stuff got off when the war ended, before the orbital ships were turned into ruin. The stuff left behind is the stuff left behind. Didn't want any of that stuff down there. Also, it encourages you to make the narrative personal to you. It encourages you to... It's about your story not the Emperor's champions story. It's about your heroes, not about these other epic heroes doing epic stuff. It's about the little guy who was left behind. His story. You know, you can have aircraft. So no dying of the light, no. You could have aircraft. Maybe your faction has... Maybe you're a guard faction, and maybe you're nearly at brigade strength somewhere, locked below a mountain. Maybe there's a bunch of tanks and a bunch of aircraft and a bunch of scions and a bunch of this and a bunch of that. Because obviously in battle number 1, it's going to be a 2,000 point game, and a lot of stuff is going to die. And then in battle number 2, you've got some reinforcements, you've got some reserves, and you're bringing the same list and you're fielding it again. You know, you're going to field the same list 4 times. That was another thing I had to decide to do. I had a whole section written about, like, bring a 2,500 point list, basically. And on the first day, you could swap in 500 points. And on the second day, you could swap out or swap in another 500 points. But again, I stripped that out of there. Adds too many layers of complication. Also, you can narratively say why the same force is fighting again and again. Because this is... the faction that you put on the table isn't the total of the faction that you have on the planet. You've got another 1,000 points over there that are shelling it from a distance, that are with the apothecarians, that haven't made it to this particular battle grid yet. You've got some reserves that you can swap in. And it keeps it simple. Keep it simple, stupid, is another mantra of mine. Keep it simple. And then dug, 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 dug. So you can have planes, you can have this, you can have do that. Please do a bat rep with the Titans. I do want to get there. Winners, what's your opinion on pick and mix detachments? You pick a detachment, roll and add only 4 strats and 2 enhancements, maybe other there. That's another one, damn Legion. That is another good question that we could do in another live stream. But we're nearly at 2 hours now. We're nearly at 2 hours, and I'm running out of water with electrolytes. And I've got mini eggs sat there. What was the other thing I wanted to say about the narrative event? I'm really looking forward to it. Lunch is provided on both of the days. Oh yeah, the best army. So there'll be 4 best army prizes. On the second day, after the 3rd mission, so I'm going to give away 3. Me and March of War are going to give away 3 prizes for best army. There isn't a first place prize or a last place prize like I do at March of Winters. There's going to be a best army prize. You don't have to have the best painted. You don't have to win every single game. You could have an averagely painted army and lose every single game, but walk away with a best army prize. What is a best army prize? The best army prize is the one that I feel, that the one that me and James feels fits the theme the best. The one that you've maybe it's conversion works, maybe it's a paint scheme that works, maybe it's the this and that. Basically, if you turn up with like 5 elite things and a dreadnought and a chapter master, you're probably not going to win the best army prize. Because there might be a really strong narrative about why they're there. But if you turn up with an averagely painted orcs list, but it's got a few buggies in it, and it's got a few speed wagons in it, and it's got a few stompy things in it, and you've strapped a few little bits of conversion bits on it, so it looks really quite kit bashed from some of the scraps that you picked up over the last couple of years. It's an average roughshod orc army with bits bolted on the side, so they're just barely hanging in there. You're more likely to get a best army prize because it will look like the kind of force that I have in my head for what would be on Gehenna years after this post-apocalyptic nuclear war that happened there and everyone's gone. And then on the second day, we're going to ask everyone in the hall to vote on. We're going to get all the armies out. It's a good opportunity to take lots of pictures for everyone's army, fill up the Instagrams, things like that, and get all the attendees to vote for one of the best army prizes as well. So we just give away if you are, there are going to be some people who lean into this, who have a hard narrative, who are going to paint a special scheme, who are going to bring a special kind of army, all crew, with a couple of Tau battle suits. All the Tau have died, except for these guys, and then there's some crew. There's going to be some people who lean into it by having certain conversions on some of their stuff. There's going to be people who lean into it. There always is. And the people who lean into it the most will be rewarded with a Best Army trophy and Best Army prize. I think it's £100 element game voucher that you can spend there. It's a chunk. So that's what we're going to do. But not first place, not second place, not third place. It's a narrative event. Don't forget to like the streams. It's Wrath of Constant Stream. The Eternal Crusader, use it as your opportunity to make your own as a champion. The Sword Brethren and Intercessor, the line. Yeah. Perfect answer, John Batil. Yeah. Use it as an opportunity to make your own Emperor's champion. If you have a Sword Brethren, if you have a model that's there that does a thing that is so heroic at the end, and he's the guy, of all the models you bring, this is what's going to happen. People talk to me about other narrative events they've gone to, like that captain or that lieutenant or that sergeant over there. Over the course of the day, that sergeant didn't die and he held the line against that thing, and and I went along to the next event and suddenly that sergeant is now a lieutenant. There's people out there like Rue, for example, whose whole army went from loyalist to chaos over the course of a couple of narrative events that we did. And now he's rocking 10,000 points of Chaos Space Marines because of coming along to one of my events. I corrupted him, and Warsmith Chris corrupted him. There's people who lean into it, and this is a narrative. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. That's it for me tonight, guys. GG. Have a good. Yes, that's it for me. Thank you, Inchin. Thanks for dropping by. That's it for me as well. By the way, I am. Yeah, the brain is running. The brain is running. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to this narrative event. 5k points of chaos. Push the things. I'm going to push the things. Guys, we're going to have to talk about the Magos, which comes after Eisenhorn and Ravener, but before Beckwin. I need to talk about that book. It's amazing. Next week. We're going to have to talk about A-roads across the British Isles next week, because we need to talk about some A-roads. There are some bangers out there and some that quite frankly shouldn't be A-roads. We're going to need to talk about that. There were a few questions up there about detachments and things. There's actually some 40k stuff that we need to talk about. It'll probably be after Adepticon next week as well. There's going to be some things that we're going to need to talk about next week. But this week, we had a lot of things that we needed to catch up with this week. And we caught up with at least 2 of them in nearly 2 hours. Next week, if we lock in earlier, guys, and not talk about chocolate, and not have heresy by adding fruit into the chocolate, and lock in the tea chat earlier on, okay? You need to lock in next week. Lock in next week. Because there's a lot to get through that we didn't get through this week. And quite frankly, I'm disappointed with myself. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Winters, can't wait to see you tomorrow night at 2 a.m. for the reveal stream. That is... me doing a reveal stream, it sounds like a horrible idea. I don't even know what's happening tomorrow up. We're having catch up next week. We can have catch up next week. So yes, next week we need to lock on. We're going to have some catch up and mustard and some catch up and things. Thank you for joining this week's Talkie Tuesday live stream. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for the new memberships and gifted memberships. And thank you if you're a subscriber or a member or a Mug Club member or a tier member or whatever member you are. There are many different members. There are many different colours, creeds, tiers, things in the 13th Fleet. The Emperor will take all of you so long as you die screaming the Emperor's name. Happy wargaming. What do you mean, has he really gone, Servo Skull? Of course I've gone. I've pressed the thing. When I press the thing, I've gone. So I have really gone. Thank you for all your donations again. You're a legend. I appreciate you. Thank you. Prancing Duck. Yeah, that's why you need to poke your members. Your parents, sorry. To get the members thing. You need to poke, give them a... They bought you 6 armies. So you can, like, I need this. And then you can get some Votan ones. See how that works? That's how that works. We need to go. Quite frankly, I need a cup of tea. Trust is in short supply, Jackus Woods. That's why. Trust is in short supply in this economy, particularly in this economy. But we can trust each other. When I say happy wargaming, I mean happy wargaming.